we got somebody on. We are live in the garage, packing orders as we speak. We get about 15 orders, actually more than that to pack. I don't think I have everything for every order. But that's what we're doing. Quarter ounce, 1 ounce. We're here. We are packing orders live, folks. We have a bunch of orders to pack. We got one going out to Michigan right now, and his name is Bradley. I got the propane heater cranking over here because it's cold. It's also Friday night, so I don't expect a ton of people on. Get one person on. We're packing orders right now. That's what we're doing. This one's going to Michigan. What's happening, everybody? Hopefully that propane noise is not too loud. I might switch it over to my other propane heater, which is way quieter. Well, we are packing orders to be shipped out tomorrow. That is the plan. This one's going to Michigan, which I ship a ton to Michigan. Traverse area is like my #1 client, probably. They love me out there, apparently. We got our first order going out. Switching propane tanks here. There we go. What is happening, folks? So if you've always been wondering about buying from benditfish.com, we are running a sale right now, 10% off until Monday night. So Bend It 10, all one word. That will get you 10% off right now. So we are packing orders. This next one is going up to Josh in Moltenboro. We're packing a Winnie kit. We're packing a Winnie kit. So let me actually, here we go. My garage is, well, it's a garage. It's a hot mess, like most people's garages. I'm gonna put you right there. Packing the chartreuse right now, and this is, I think my Winnie kit's very popular. Winnie kit was like the first kit that ever came out, so it's probably the most popular. It's what I use basically all winter long because lake trout seem to feed on some smaller stuff, especially during the wintertime. And I think that's just because, you know, things hatch in the spring and I haven't gained, I gained a bunch over the summer, but not super big. And so if you guys are new to the channel, you're hopping on the live stream, I am Josh from Bennett Fishing, and I am a lake trout fanatic. So I teach how to jig for lake trout on the YouTubes, on this channel specifically, and how I make my money off of that is I sell lake trout bait. Specifically, most of them are made in my garage. Some of them are made actually in Ohio. And then the jigs are made down in Massachusetts. All of them. Right now we're running a code Bendit 10 for 10% off. So thanks to Josh up in Moltenboro. You're gonna get your Winnie kit. Probably it'll ship tomorrow, or post office will pick it up tomorrow from my house. And it'll probably be there by like Tuesday, if I was to guess. Post office in is pretty quick. Leaving the state, not so fast. And I have a bunch of new products on the website as well, benditfish.com. And I'll do some more live streams. I'll probably do a live stream probably next maybe next Wednesday. I want to talk about some ice fishing gear. I've been getting lots of questions. And I don't want to make like a full video about it. I guess I could. I don't really have anything new this year. If anybody's is anybody chatting right now or no? Top messages. Hey, comment below where you're at. I can't tell if you guys are if the comment feature's on right now. Nobody's actually mentioned anything. So yeah, comment where you're watching from. I'm in basically Manchester, New Hampshire, so right in the middle of the state, or southern middle. And I gotta go pack some stuff on the other side of the room here. Hold on one second. Comment where you're from. Chicago, Minnesota, nice. So Illinois. Do a lot of orders in both of those states. Minnesota's probably, you know what, let's do this. So Shopify, which is a really cool app. Took me forever to get it, but Shopify is what I sell all my stuff out of. And they have a little AI chat feature. What state do I ship to the most? Or you can just ask it questions like a human. Checking in from Burlington, Vermont. Awesome. I like Burlington. I was up there in October. So New Hampshire's got 310 orders, then New York 308, Maine 294, Vermont is 138, Massachusetts. I don't know what that time period is for. These 5 northeastern states account for half of the. I have over 2,500 orders. It's crazy. Who else is on? Comment where you're from. And, hey, you know what? I'm going to write it on a freaking piece of paper here. Is that backwards for you guys? That's got to be backwards for you guys. It is, right? I don't know. Use code BENDIT10. You know what? I don't know if I can comment. Haha, you're very welcome. Yep, it's backwards. Yeah, I hate freaking forward-facing cameras. There's a way to reverse that again, but I don't know how to do it. Let's do. What does this do? Green screen, highlight, close, flip. I don't know how to do it. You know what I can do? Watch this. Watch this. I can go to the old YouTubes. I could turn my audio off right now so I don't get feedback on myself. Your channel. I'm going to comment on my own live stream. Hey, love the content. Just watched your latest on Thin Ice. Thank you very much for watching that. I appreciate it. Hope you guys didn't mind the disclaimer up front. Bend it 10 for 10% off. There we go. That should show up. Use Bend it 10 for 10% off. Now I gotta go back to what I was doing. I don't remember at this point. So this particular person, of course I'm missing one, hold on. Found it. Gotta love Mr. Buddy Heaters. We got someone from New Jersey, and I don't know how to pronounce your first name or your last name. But it ends in ski, so I'm guessing you're Polish, like part of my heritage. You guys check out the new ice fishing content. I'm going to edit another video tonight. Hopefully I can get it done tonight. I doubt it, because I did not bring my audio pack out in this particular trip. And when I do that, it makes it really hard to edit, but it makes it really easy to film, which kind of beat myself up later for doing that, but is what it is. And then I have a bunch of new products on the website as well. So I got a new video coming out. I have a video coming out about how to set up a tip-up for lake trout, because I get asked about that stuff all the time. And I finally got a chance to do it this past spring, late winter, I guess you want to call it that. So yeah, that video is going to come out soon. And I am scheduled to do my New Year's trip as well with my buddy Seth. Yes, I do ship to Ontario, Canada. I have 2 orders that's going to Ontario, Canada right now. And you know what? Since I'm such a nice guy, so I ship DHL to Canada. I can also ship USPS. So if you're gonna place orders for Canada, if you ship with our postal service, it's almost, I think it's no tariff or no tax going across the border, but it's slower than hell. If you use DHL, you're going to get dinged when it comes in there, but it'll be there in like 3 to 4 days. It's super fast. So the last DHL shipment, let me see how much. Yeah, DHL Express. This guy ordered 2 big bake kits. It was $45 Canada in Canadian money, and they're going to North York, Ontario. So hopefully that helps you. And the exchange rate is 1.397489 right now. If I use that code 10, spend it 10 and get 10% off. Now is the time. I only discount stuff twice a year when I'm on vacation. And then right now for Black Friday, I didn't run it last year. I really don't like discounting my stuff because margins are low and this kind of stuff. A lot of stuff is made like locally, so it's not made in China. It's very expensive stuff. This person's also getting a big bake kit, which is the Flambeau 4007 box. And then we have new spoons on the website. And I've actually shown it once in the video, maybe twice in a video. Because I kept buying treble hooks and they were garbage. So I had to, because most treble hooks are designed for bass, so I had to upgrade to like big game treble hooks. Because you want to be able to hook more than one fish without a hook freaking bending out. Which you wouldn't think is an issue, but with lake trout it is. Yeah, where are you guys from? The more you guys comment, the more this live stream gets pushed out to more people. And more people get in the chat. So yeah. I'm going to pack as many orders as I can. It's 8 o'clock. No! It's 8 o'clock now. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, I'll have a sight fishing video coming out hopefully this Sunday, if I can get my stuff together. Even though you guys got lucky, you guys got a video on Sunday and on Monday this week. I wanted to release one on Thanksgiving night, but I was at my in-laws' house. Pump for the new jigs. Pimples have been killing us Tobago for me in the last few weeks. Great. What were the orange jaw jackers I was using? So, every one of them is in my truck right now. So the orange jaw jackers I'm using are from, Automatic Fisherman is the name of the brand. They came out with the first auto hook setting device, I don't know, like more than a decade ago. And then jaw jacker came along. And the original Automatic Fisherman is huge. It's a huge, like, big, giant piece of plastic. Works great. And then they came out with a small, compact version. So I run the Automatic Fisherman Snapper. Now, what's great about that is there's no way to freeze that device. I mean, yes, you would have to get slush from this guy and pack slush around it for the trigger not to operate properly. So I actually don't like the jaw jacker because I have it on underwater footage. If you have an egg down there or a worm down there and the trigger is frozen on a jaw jacker, especially for stock trout, it doesn't matter so much for like bigger trout that are going to hit it really hard. If that trigger on the jaw jacker has a pin in it, this is my engineering background by the way, has a pin in it, and then it has adjustment, right? So if you're catching fish all day long and it's below freezing, you're splashing water, or the fish is splashing water on that trigger, and you go to set it up the next time, and you set it up, and it freezes, and that fish cannot set that trigger off. They'll grab the egg that's on the hook and spit it right back up. As soon as they feel tension, they know something's wrong, and they'll drop it. So I stopped using the jaw jacker. I do have one still. I'm tempted to buy the automatic jigging base for it, just for burbot at night, because nobody makes a jigging base for the snapper one. But there's my 2 cents. Yeah, we're supposed to get some cold weather. I'm actually going to be doing some side work for all next week, so I'll be indoors, unfortunately. But that being said, I will be back out chasing some fish the instant I get the time to go out. Which is why the instant the ice freezes, I tell my wife, I'm like, I don't care what we're doing, I'm going. And I would have gone out a couple days ahead of time. I knew a place that was frozen, but it was my daughter's birthday, so. And she turns 1. It's kind of crucial that I be there, so I actually was there. You know what I mean? So we got a big bait kit. So this one's going to Wayne, New Jersey. Big bait kit, and then we have medium baits. So this is a 3/8 ounce glow in the dark. And I wish I had a button to turn the lights off to show you how much these freaking things glow, because it's kind of ridiculous. And then we got 3/4 ounce jigs. And then we have a pack of basically 4-inch tubes. I call them 3.75s. And then we have a pack of 3-inch swim baits. That 3-inch swim bait, well, that's buggered now. That 3-inch swim bait and the 3/8 ounce probably catches the most freaking fish. It's the most universal. I don't know if it gets the most. It hasn't probably caught the most amount of fish, but it's the most universal. It's halfway between my big bait kit and my small bait kits, or my Winnie kit. I like the new swim bait design. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're probably gonna have. So what I was standing on was about just under 2 inches, just about like that much. And in the video, it looks really, really thin. That's because it's an optical illusion. So the black ice and black water basically makes it look like it doesn't exist. So I'm standing on quite a bit of ice. It just doesn't seem like that. All right, back to another order. It's 3 out of the 20. And I run my guide business through my Shopify, so I have 4 orders that are basically guide business orders that I don't close out until I actually do them. And then we have the new jigs. I'll be fishing for walleye. I'd love to fish for Lakers, but there's no population nearby. Bummer. We have no walleye nearby, so I got tradesies on you on that. I feel like that's a common problem in ice fishing. There's tiny stuff for panfish and big stuff for big game fish, finding the sweet spot. Yeah, that's why I wanted small, medium, and large size baits, just because lake trout can be super picky about what they freaking want, right? So when in doubt, downsize. All right, I have new jigs to show you guys. And my lovely bait guy packed these things all individually, so now I have to unpack them and repack them as a 3-pack. So, but I'll show you them in a minute. I got them bind. Let's see if they all fit in one size here. So, this is going to Rick in Claremont, New Hampshire. So there's the 1 ounce one. See, we don't have any really pike here in New Hampshire either. We have some water bodies that have pike. Our Connecticut river system, there's one river that borders Vermont that has pike, and you guys obviously know about it in Connecticut. That has pike and walleye. Burbot is kind of a weird species that they're becoming more popular. And I've done a lot of videos about burbot, and they're starting to get more traction because they are becoming more popular. So this is the new these are the new spoons. So they have 50-pound, ow, and the hooks are like deathly sharp, obviously, because that's the way we roll here. These are the new flutter jigs. So that is a number 4 2x strong treble hook on there, and that's a number 2 2x strong treble hook. Glow in the dark heads, and it's a matte finish. So this is the bismuth tin that we use for lead free. So you can use these anywhere in the world. Lead is not an issue. Yeah, burbot tastes good as well. Fresh fishing. So we're selling these as a 3-pack. They are not cheap because treble hooks are about 3 times the cost of a normal hook, and you got to weld them together. And split rings are expensive. The split rings are 50-pound split rings. So those ain't going anywhere. And I don't really know how to package these, so they're just kind of going in there like that for now. And I think I've talked to this guy's placed 7 orders with me, so he's pretty chill. And then we have our new, I call them our micro series, which is our new 1/8 ounce and 16th ounce jigs for basically stock trout or crappie. So we have them in pink, and then we have them in chartreuse, the normal chartreuse glow that I sell. And this is a limited release. There's only 25 pieces of each one of these. And I'm only going to sell them like basically this time of year, and then maybe again this time next year is the plan. And I need to get organized, folks. I feel like I'm always just organizing things. Sweet deal. Lake Ashore bite. Popular, well-known spot. I think it was the water level on Champlain. So I was seeing a ton on the jetties as I was leaving in October. I never made it back up in November. I wish I had a nice. I mean, I have a garage, and what I should do is just put a header in and blow it out, and put my boat in here all year, and just figure out another spot for my bait making stuff, because the boat's very important. Because I would keep my boat out all year. I'm going to try to sucker my buddy, Ryan, we've already talked about it, into doing a open water burbot trip as it gets closer to December. Either we're going to go to Sebago or we're going to go to Winnipesaukee and jig for burbot at night. And I'll probably do a live stream the whole time, because
editing it sucks, especially nighttime footage. So there's going to be plenty of Lakers for ice fishing, especially on Champlain. We just need ice, obviously. We're going to have this cold snap this week. Inclined to bite during the ice. Yeah, so Lakers, what you're getting out of a Laker when they are spawning is a territorial bite. And I saw it a lot on LiveScope this year. I don't target them specifically and when they're on reds, basically when they're up trying to spawn. They only spawn at night, so I can bother them at the daytime. It's not as bad for them. But what they're doing is they're basically just chasing away things from where they want to spawn. So you'll get one or two that's aggressive and will eat. Those are the ones you're catching. That one's going to Claremont. I need to say my crew insulated and drywall. Yeah, this is my wife and I keep deciding, like, are we going to go buy a new house down the street? Because we actually grew out of this house. Our second child was semi-planned, semi-not planned. So we are out of space, bedroom-wise, basically. And I work from home, and my wife works from home. So we've been looking for. I'd love to insulate this. I'd love to spend a lot of money on this garage, but I can't do it because as soon as I do that, we're going to find a house that we want. At least that's my excuse. So there's a reason why the Eagle Eye is on sale. I have seen Garmin's, the PS22. I have not seen the Eagle Eye in person, but the PS22 is not. Don't waste your money. I know it's a lot cheaper. It'll buy once, cry once with LiveScope. Trust me, you'll be way happier. We got an order going to Newbury, New Hampshire. I know exactly what lake they're fishing. So we have the classic grubs, which is the second thing that I started on my bait business. And I actually bought this size by mistake. You guys don't know that. So I fished Sebago with grubs from Bass Pro Shop, and they say 4-inch. Something like that. Yeah, they say 4-inch. So I bought 4-inch. But what happens with grubs is they sell them in two different sizes. They sell them curled, and then they sell them hanging, right? So that's 4 and 6. Like everybody wants, right? So these are bigger than I actually use on Sebago, but they work great on Sebago. So Michigan crown molding. Yeah, I wish I was in the. We want to get someone to actually push down our house and rebuild the whole freaking thing. My wife's been trying to contact people, but because I'm busy doing this stuff, and I also I do consulting work on the side on top of YouTube stuff, not for fishing, but for other things, and I run the guide business. And also, so I wouldn't suggest buying the Eagle Eye stuff. Go see it. Go ask people on Facebook ask people you know that might be running one and see if you can see it. I was using my PS22 right next to somebody. I was using my LiveScope Plus next to somebody who's using a PS22, and they could not see the fish that I was seeing. Literally could not. Could not see it. So the LiveScope Plus is on sale. I wouldn't buy Lowrance. I can tell you that right now. But that's just me. I have seen a lot of footage. I'm sure it's edited footage, by the way. Footage of Humminbird Mega Live 2. It looks actually really nice. And I was a Humminbird guy before I was a Garmin guy. And Humminbird actually got their crap together even a year later, or they had announced it. I would have stayed with Humminbird, but because Humminbird is actually the reason I started my channel. Well, one of the reasons I started my channel is I bought the new Helix when it came out, and I did a bunch of videos on it, and it started making me money, and then I was addicted ever since. I gotta go over there. I'll be right back. I actually have 3 forms of heat in this garage. I bought a diesel heater to try because I clicked on one. I was just getting blasted on social media about diesel heaters. So I bought one to try in the shack, ice shack this year. I'm going to bring it up for New Year's. I'm going to bring propane as a backup because I don't trust that it'll get warm enough. Maybe it says it's 20,000 BTUs, but we'll see. And if you guys want 10% off right now, use code BENDIT10 on the website till Monday. And then that code expires. What I should do is offer you guys a higher code on the live stream. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, I love my Minn Kota too, and they're not synced. I mean, I don't need them synced currently because I find fish with live scope, and then I have an Altera, so I just hit the button and the trolling motor drops and hit the spot lock button. So away she goes. Eighth ounce. And I'm also browsing the catalog now, just saying, buy stuff. I can't, my margins are already pretty thin on my stuff because I'm stupid. And I've raised my prices a bunch of times to make sure that I'm making enough money because we're at, I don't know, year 2, 3 of doing this stuff full time here. Trying to make enough money. I'm trying to make enough money so my wife can stop working. That's the goal. Buy more stuff so my wife can stop working. Because I like doing this, obviously. I'll do this till I can't do this anymore. Especially in the guiding thing. Guiding's fun. Yeah, use BENDIT10. That's the highest discount I've ever run. It did really well this summer. If I had more time, I would make more of this myself, and I could run a higher discount. But I have people making the grubs that I just showed you are actually made in Ohio because I didn't have time. I don't have time to make them anymore because I sell so many of them. Use BENDIT10. Like I said, I'm a guide here in New Hampshire. Go to benditfish.com. Buy your stuff now. There's a lot of people that didn't use the discount code when they were buying, or they didn't know about it, which is fine. And no, you can't place an order and then ask me to run the discount after the fact. It doesn't work that way because what happens is when you buy something, I get hit with a credit card transaction fee. So I basically probably lose more money if you guys do it and then I add more to it. Kind of silly. Yeah, that's the same thing. Shout out to postal this time of year. Yeah, they postal workers are probably going to get abused. I just saw a little short video of Best Buy or something like that. They had hundreds and hundreds of TVs out for Black Friday and nobody came. Because no one wants to do that stuff. They want a TV delivered to the door. So if Amazon drops it, they get hit with the money. Yeah, I have an issue buying stuff as well because one, it's a tax write-off for my business. But I spend so freaking much, then it's not I still got to make money, obviously, and I still do consulting work on the side to pay for other things because it pays really, really well. We're gonna make a big bait XL kit next. Big bait XL. Yeah, my this summer wintertime used to be like my biggest time of the year, business wise, and now just because there's a lot of people at home watching ice fishing content, and there's not a lot of ice fishing content creators out there because ice fishing and camera stuff just don't mix. You got fog, you got cameras that freeze up. It's kind of annoying. Almost freaking touched a spider. And now summertime is crazy, and I have the USPS totes from the post office, and my stuff literally has lead and like super heavy stuff in it. He went to go pick it up and like literally fell out of the postal truck. So now he knows better to pick my stuff up with two hands and actually get out of the truck. Yeah, they will. They are definitely the hooks aren't saltwater rated, but you don't really need to be anyways. But they're going to be good for like albies and all sorts of stuff. So, and you guys will shed a small tear. I did not go striper fishing at all this year. I had four striper trips either canceled on me. I had to cancel one because I got sick. And then I had another one canceled on me because of weather. And then I had two planned, and those got canceled because of weather too. Sucked. So we got one chartreuse glow tube. Number two coming right up. But my plan is to go definitely striper fishing. I'd love to go striper ice fishing. If we have a cold enough winter, I have some contacts in Connecticut. And I'm going to figure it out. Though there's not really a big market for YouTube videos about striper fishing for striper ice fishing. I know they catch them when you like are smelting, but it's pretty rare. I didn't realize I had to make all of these, so hold on. This one's going to Lee, Maine. And it's going to Beth. Thank you very much for your order. A lot of women fish, surprisingly. It's a small part of my audience. I can see what based on my YouTube analytics. Thank you for placing an order of $14. I don't know who that was. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're on the live stream, I appreciate it. We got those. I'm writing the second version of the Garmin PS1 to the unit. Depends on the individual style. Fishing Live Scope Plus is much better. Also heavier. Ever do? Yeah. So I've done. I actually have a pinfish for Massachusetts for tautog or blackfish. It's like over 10 pounds, something like that. I caught it during a charter. I'm now friends with that guide. I done commercial fishing with him for tautog and blackfish actually, and sea bass. So if you go back on my videos, go to the saltwater section of my playlist, you'll see those videos. So we got the big bait kit going to Maine. And I'm hoping Sebago freezes this year. I'm hoping Champlain freezes more than Sebago. Unfortunately, where it freezes on Champlain is like 3 hours away, which is just slightly more annoying to get to. What's up? Set of boys outdoors, how's it going? We are packing orders live here in the garage from the Bendit Fishing Garage here in southern New Hampshire. Running a sale right now, Bendit 10 for 10% off, which I never run sales. Last sale I ran almost freaking killed me. So I did, I was on vacation and people didn't read the fine print that I was on vacation. So they were just like, oh, is my order shipping tomorrow? I'm like, no, I'm gone all week. Like, read the freaking description, guys. That's why I was running the sale. I don't know how else to tell people that I'm not home. Have you found Mr. Butter? So Mr. Butter heaters are super reliable. I have 2 of them. And I actually broke one last year. My buddy broke it. Actually broke the ceramic, so I bought a replacement ceramic for that. I had to install that. So Mr. Butter heaters are great. I have a small one. I've been meaning to buy the large. They're the big Mr. Butter heater, just because clients get cold. And I'm bringing my son on my New Year's trip, so he's probably going to get cold. So we shall see. All right, we got a bunch of stuff on this next order. We got spoons, we got tubes, we got the new mini split tail. Looking forward. What's up? And I also have a diesel heater that I'm going to try on the ice this year. I don't know if it's going to be. I might use the diesel heater at night and then the propane during the day, just because the propane's quiet when I'm editing, like I'm, doing video stuff. At least that's my thought process. You should do a raffle for a guided trip for Champlain. If I get my captain's license this winter, which I have, I bought the freaking training material. I just need. I haven't even opened it yet. I bought it like 2 months ago when it was on sale. And then I have to go for a physical and a drug test, and I have to get a TWIC card, which is like a TSA clearance kind of card. And I'm sure I have to bump up my insurance and do all that, and then I have to drive 2.5 hours to go to Champlain to even start to find any place to guide on Champlain. But I think it's worth it. I get asked to guide on Champlain a bunch. My plan is, though, I do get my captain's license, is to I'm going to be up here for a week, pick one of these 5 days, and I'll just be up there all week guiding. That's the plan. Trying to make it happen. Trying to make it happen. But there's only so many days in the week, you know. Couldn't have dropped that in a crazier freaking direction. Yeah, I thought about doing a sale on my guide trips, but I just gave away. I just basically gave away a guide trip to Project Healing Waters. You guys didn't see that video. I donated. We donated $1,000, so people paid me $500 to go out on the boat, and I matched that and I gave it to Project Healing Waters, which is a great cause. If you guys know who they are, they're a fly fishing organization that helps veterans get back from wartime and gets them out in the water, which is kind of cool. And I've volunteered my time to go fly fishing with them as well in the past. Me too. The heck was that? Just for the snow dog rides. Yeah, snow dog is pretty sweet. It's actually right behind me in a couple of pieces. I did the maintenance on it this year. Actually, I tried to start it, and as soon as I started it, I smelled turpentine, so it was freaking bad gas. So wouldn't run properly. I had to take all the carb apart, which is kind of a pain in the butt to get to. They don't make it easy. I cleaned it, and now it runs great. I'm gonna move you guys here. So this is an arbor press. This is how I make the tails on my 6-inch tubes. And I don't use a ton of tubes for Lakers, but I sell a ton of tubes for Lakers, which is kind of funny. Tubes are a staple. I fished the bridge, huh? Yeah, I actually, when I'm out in the boat, I actually spend a fair amount of time on the New York side. I don't know why. That's where I find the most Lakers, actually. I do catch them on both sides of the lake, but I spend a lot of time on that side. Yeah, you guys should pressure me to get my freaking captain's license, so I can guide you guys on Champlain. It would be more than a normal guide up there, obviously, since it's a 5-hour round trip for me. I think I would do a full day trip. That being said, I have a friend that I took. He'd never been to Champlain. He's a Laker freak like I am. I think I pretty much introduced him to Lakers. And he didn't tell me he had asthma, and we were out there hammering Lakers. He's like, "Oh, can I take a break?" I'm like, "No, man, we're out here to catch as many Lakers as we can." And we caught 80 Lakers, and he was huffing and puffing. Thought he was going to pass out. So it's exhausting, especially no matter how you do it. All right, so this is the red skirt. This is the red skirt tube, and I'm going to be releasing some other colors at some point when I get my head out of my butt. Yeah, we saw these glow in the dark, like absolutely crazy. Kind of stuck together right now because there's nothing on them. Yeah, so I register my snow dog as a snowmobile. So if I want to go from lake to lake, or go on some backwoods trails or something like that, I can. So I register mine as a snowmobile. You can register as an ATV, but I don't think that's legal, but you can. And then Vermont, you don't have to. So on Champlain, I just ride it on Champlain and nobody says anything. Until Vermont figures that crap out, and then they'll start making you do it. All right, we got 1 ounce, we got 3/4 ounce. And then we got 1/2 ounce. Yeah, the New York. So I mean, they're gonna stop stocking. Or this is the last year for stocking, so we'll see if the population holds. Obviously, I don't think there's any. Not gonna put any new crazy invasive species to Champlain that I don't know about. But they're doing lampricide, obviously. 1/2, 3/4, and 1 ounce. These are the new flutter spoons. And my neighbor's dog is like right out my window here, freaking making me nervous. I didn't know what it was, and I figured out what it was. Yeah, did I catch a salmon out of? I did catch a salmon out of Champlain, my first one ever. This fall, actually. Cruising right below the top of the surface, like they always do. And this is going to Greg in Senahaba, in New Hampshire. Yeah, so gobies are interesting. So Cayuga's full of lakers, and they have gobies. Cayuga is on the lake. It's on my list of places to fish. I want to do like a Great Lakes tour, and I was going to do it this year, and I ran out of time. But if I schedule it for next year, make it happen. Oh, really? So New Hampshire lakers are crashing in Winnipesaukee. So we have spiny water flea now. We've had it for the last 3 years at least. Maybe even 4, but noticeable amount of spiny water flea. And our lakers were small to begin with. Excuse me. Our lakers are small to begin with because they're smelt fed, and they've been feeding on spiny water flea, which have no nutritional value. So yeah. This is the new the new split tail. Tiny, tiny little bait. And this is just for crappie and I'm sure freaking lake trout eat it, but crappie and stock trout is the plan for these. And I'll show you one up close. It's really, really tiny, 1.2 inch. And that tail spreads apart here in a second. Chartreuse. Little tiny guys. First order of those ever. I made them in a rush as I was packing them up the other day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no. I ripped the tails off, you son of a gun. Well, I gotta shoot more anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I ordered the wrong color pink, so it's actually like bubblegum pink. I'll be changing that soon. Just got some of those. Thank you. You're gonna have to. Your order will be won't be packed tonight. At this rate. And then 2 packs of the 16th ounce. I mean, these are little guys, little tiny guys. And I'm going to sell them until they're gone. I don't even have them in my tackle. They literally just came in on Wednesday morning or Tuesday afternoon. And then I was at my in-laws for Thanksgiving in Newburgh, New York. Everybody knows where that is. And the reason my packaging isn't pretty is so I don't have to pass the price on to you guys. Are those new small hooks pretty strong? They're as strong as we can get. I would not trust them for lake trout, but they're for stock trout and crappie, ones that you're going to be using light tackle for anyways. You're not going to get a 30-inch stock trout sneaking up on you in, like, especially most of New Hampshire and stuff like that. Most of New England, you're not going to get some freak of nature trout that's going to break you off or bend your hook out. So we got a pack of those, 16 ounces, pack of chartreuse glows, double pack of tube jigs, pack of pearl tube jigs, and then this laptop doesn't have a touchscreen. Then we have the new flutters, which, if you go to my channel and search for how to jig spoons like a pro, these spoons are in that video. I use them for a couple of the fish that are in that because Castmasters is what I was trying to copy stuff after. It's hard to find something that's actually like decent. Castmaster hooks in the smaller sizes are junk. So these, you will not have to upgrade these hooks. You will not. They are like 2x strong, super stout owner hooks, which is why it took me forever to release this. Is like I was buying, $10 packs of hooks and they're junk, or I break them I try to release a fish and the freaking hook will break. And I don't want that, because no one cries more than I do when a freaking hook breaks. Now we're getting there, folks. I don't know how many you guys are buying as I'm packing them here, so the number's not going down. That's okay. I appreciate it. 3 packs of grubs going to Flip in Nevada. I get a ton of orders out west. Obviously, New Hampshire. Hearing noises. Here's my biggest client. Ooh, soft plastics. Yes, these are glow-in-the-dark 6-inch grubs. And this glow is like nuclear glow. People don't realize that. They think it's like the glow that you had on the stars on your roof as a kid. This stuff will glow for like 5-6 hours. Oh, you know what? I'll do this for you guys. Watch this. So my garage is a mess, and I can't turn it off and not fall down when I'm trying to get the thing. Ow! Like that. I just tripped over a box full of samples from a company. I want you guys to kind of like look here. Watch this. Not on my face. I'm gonna shut the lights off. I'm gonna show you how much this stuff glows. So that's a laptop, and then underneath that's the propane heater for reference. That's glowing, that's glowing. That's the bag of glow up there. There's glow stuff on the floor. She glows all right. She glows. Took me 6 different companies to find what glow worked the best. What up? So I just guide for Lakers on the big lakes. There's probably 6 or 7 salmon guides here in New Hampshire that'll take you out. For sure, obviously. I don't guide for salmon because I try not to guide for stocked fish. So our salmon are stocked. They will hold over, but I don't try not to support that as much as I can. I'd rather have people want to respect and catch Lakers that are wild, self-spawning. That being said, I had clients catch salmon jigging this summer, and they're super fun to catch. Obviously, I tried to run some salmon casting trips this spring, but nobody seemed to be interested. Because you can literally, with live scope that I use, you can literally see a whole school of them and just cast to them and catch them over and over again. Like you'll catch a limit in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, and you basically have to go home. And I think I caught 10 in a row last spring. Yeah, so I'm aware of the collapse. That's because of spiny water flea, and I actually have a guy on Facebook that's blaming me for all of the spiny water flea because I go to Champlain, and it's not my fault. Fucking people. Yeah, spiny water flea, and it's weird. You go to a freaking rinky-dink pond in the middle of nowhere in New Hampshire, and there's a lake host there that's checking your boat for weeds. Never seen one in Alton Bay, which is the only public boat launch on Winnie. Makes no sense to me. But now they're in Newfound, so Newfound will collapse as well. Me and a couple other Laker chasers are basically thinking it's going to be bad for a little while. Actually, hear this out. So our Lakers are basically stunted by their forage. They're stunted by smelt. So smelt actually have thiamine in them and another protein that basically stunts the growth of a Laker. Really not good for them, actually. So that's why you see tons and tons of Lakers under 20 inches, especially in most of my videos here in New Hampshire. I do fish other places that have bigger Lakers. I just don't really release those videos very often. I don't go there very often either. So you get stunted Lakers, 20 inches and under. And they're stunted by the smelt. Now, lakes that have a lot of bigger Lakers, their smelts are bigger, so they're in the 8-inch range, like full-size jack smelt, which is not very common here in New Hampshire. That does happen. If Lakers aren't eating smelt, they're going to switch over to another forage. The other forage, the secondary best forage here in New Hampshire, is yellow perch. So what's going to happen is these small Lakers, the 20 inches and under, aren't going to grow anymore. They're going to basically kind of die off, and we're going to have a huge population collapse, which is fine. We have too many runts anyways, which is going to be kind of a pain in the butt to guide for, because people want, like, Winnipesaukee is not known for big fish, or big Lakers at least. What's going to happen is those ones that are over that 20-inch mark, they're going to get over that hump, and they're going to start putting the bulk on. They're going to start eating schools of yellow perch. That's what we hope. They're going to start eating those, and they're going to start eating other things like white perch, smaller schools, and they're just going to get bigger. And we're going to get basically, hopefully, bigger freaking Lakers is the plan. Because other lakes that are not smelt based, that are yellow perch based, and I won't name any of them, but they do exist out there. Those lakes do great, and the Lakers are freaking huge. Thanks, Harvey, Kevin, and Nate for your orders. And we have another Big Bait XL kit going to Maine. Yeah, smelt population has collapsed, which kind of sucks. But nothing I can do about it. I can just I continue to wash my boat off between lakes. I guide on. I actually spent most of my time on Newfound this year, figuring that out, getting that dialed in, putting a lot of clients on fish. Best day, not this year, but last year, we did 21 Lakers in 5 hours. And that was for someone who had never jigged for Lakers before. I know you don't like stockies, but the new hatchery should be a game. Hopefully the fall stocking farm is going to, instead of dumping spring stockies everywhere. Yeah. I don't mind stockies. I just wish, and people, I know people that work there. My buddy Ryan works there. I wish New Hampshire would either market better or do something for our wild fish here in New Hampshire. We only have a few species that are wild. It takes Trout Unlimited or the Native Fish Coalition to do any of the marketing to help some of this stuff. So instead of putting browns and rainbows and pellet pigs everywhere else in the state, they should focus on making, and this is grant money, lucky it's not our money. It's like a $50 million freaking fish tank that they're building in Northampton. All power to them. It's gonna be great fish. It's gonna be great fishing for my kid, who's already caught Lakers. He's never caught a stocked trout, has he? So he's 6. He's caught Lakers. He's caught crappie, which were stocked here initially, but they're not continually stocked. Yeah, he's caught more Lakers than he's caught. I don't think he's ever caught a stocked trout. He's gone wild brook trout fishing for me in the White Mountains. So yeah, he's done that. He's gone up to Pittsburgh, but I think he hooked a sucker fish and not a trout. So. I'm not fully against it. And what I don't like is, Fish and Game puts all these trout in like southern New Hampshire, and they can't control the weather. But it's like 1 week it's flooded and it's blowing the fish out, and the next week that water temp is 60 something degrees, 70, 80 degrees, and they can't survive. So it's a put and take fishery, and they're wasting a lot of resources on you know, people coming up from Mass. And Massachusetts stocked way better than New Hampshire, anyways. I have not gone on to Mass this year. I refuse to buy a Massachusetts license because I bought a Canada license, Maine, Vermont, and obviously I have to buy 2 New Hampshire licenses. I have to buy a guide's license in New Hampshire, and then I have to buy my normal license. Did you think they just converted to one? But yeah, they're stocking really small trout. I've already caught some of the stockies for this fall. They stocked some pigs already, but none of those water bodies are frozen, which obviously Fish and Game can't control at all. Be back 1 second. We're doing another Big Bait XL. Yeah, it's a put and take fishery. Like, it is what it is. It's kind of, it's something that our grandfathers did, or our great-great-grandfathers did. I mean, they've been stocking salmon in Winnipesaukee since like 1888. Landlocked salmon, like the ones that are in there. So it's a long tradition. Don't know if it's right or wrong. I'm not the biologist that's deciding that stuff. But as a Laker guide here in New Hampshire, and I see the population of, didn't know about the spiny water flea, by the way. I'd heard about it from a lake host, actually, from a different lake. When I see them dump like 60,000 salmon in, and then the Lakers keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller, I'm going to blame Fish and Game for stocking salmon in. And they admitted that they overstocked. It's just, it's frustrating. And then they say, well, we stocked 1.2 million catchable fish. I'm like, yeah, I can catch a 6-inch rainbow, sure, with a size 22 hook. Yeah, I know Connecticut has kokanee. I've caught ones in Alaska, not actual kokanee, but like, yeah, you know what I mean. Actual ones in Alaska. Yes, they are excellent. Unfortunately, we have to kill them here in New Hampshire. It'd be great if we could use stock trout live on the line. Because I would 100% release that video. Yeah, we have probably 3 or 4 rivers that have spawning stock trout. New Hampshire has stocked triploids in the past. Occasionally they do stock triploids. It's not very common. It's a more expensive process, and the fallout's probably like 50% from what I've heard. Of like, you put 1,000 eggs in, you only get 500 possible triploids out. I would love them to stock triploids in some of these trout ponds because they would get freaking huge, but they won't. We'll see what the new hatchery is doing. They're going from 50,000 fish or something like that they can do now up to 250,000. I think that's the right number. It's a big freaking number. My concern about hatcheries like they're building, luckily they got grant money. It's technically COVID money, which is fine, whatever they want to use it for. let's spend $250 million on stocked fish, and I don't know if any of it went for native fish rehabilitation areas. Like there's plenty of streams and stuff that could be opened up, dams could be removed, but nobody cares about wild brookies, unfortunately, unless they're huge, unless they're Moosehead Lake size, which we don't got. You should ask them how they plan on funding it when they barely have enough money to cover their current operations. Yeah, I don't know that. If I was maybe when my kids get older, I'll join one of these fishing game boards or something like that, and be able to have some time to do some policy change and stuff like that. And if you guys want to hear something funny, so I've done a lot of stuff on my YouTube channel. It started off as a bass fishing channel, and then I traveled to out west for about 6 months, 7 months. And so I fished. There's Alaska footage on my channel. There's Colorado, Montana. There's all sorts of stuff on my channel. Wyoming, California, all sorts of stuff on there. So, and then I switched. My fly fishing videos do great, and fly fishing community is not the nicest. They're a bunch of old grumpy people most of the time. So I was releasing those wild brook trout streams up in the White Mountains. I wasn't telling people where they were, obviously. And I was getting people that were mad at me. They were like, "You can't talk about blue lining and wild brook trout. There's too much pressure on those fish as it is. We should you should take those videos down. We don't want any more pressure on those fish." I'm like, first off, who's going to protect those fish if nobody knows about them? That's the thing. For example, the Sunapee trout or the Arctic char that were in Lake Sunapee. They knew about them, they overstocked them, and now they're gone. The silver trout over in Lake Dublin, gone. Nobody cared about them. So I try to go, I'm kind of preaching here, sorry guys. I try to kind of talk like the Lorax, if you guys seen that movie. I speak for the trees, I try to speak for the fish. I wish I could make decent money off my videos, off of fishing for wild brook trout. I probably could if I was big enough, if I was 200,000 subscribers, I could over the course of a video, over just some video content. Because I love fly fishing. Stock rumors are good for beginners. And yeah, they get adult Sunapee trout. Yeah, so I've gone for them up in Maine. They do exist out in Utah and Montana. There's a population out there that was brought from here. But yeah, they're Arctic char, or landlocked Arctic char. So they do exist. And I've caught them before, and they're really, really pretty. Especially in their fall spawning colors. Yeah, so I did that video on first ice there, and I caught 4 right away. I'm like, I'm not going to catch anything bigger. It was like an hour in between fish because they didn't stock that many where I went. Not an hour, like 20 minutes in between each fish. And I know it works for stocked fish. It's worms and eggs. And I was getting bored, so I left. I got my first ice fishing video, and then I went somewhere else, and that's the video I'm gonna release. I might get it tonight. It's getting late. Been up since 6 and drove 5 hours home today from the in-laws. I'm getting actually quite a bit of orders done. We'll see what the next order is here. And I'll see if I can do this one. Yes, I'm going to do a January 1st trip. That is the plan. I got some eyes and ears up there now, which is going to be helpful. Very helpful, which I'm excited about. Yeah, so January 1st trip is planned. I wasn't going to go this year because it was... My wife gets mad at me for going on that trip, even though I always ask for it. Because it's New Year's, and we have 2 kids, so it's not like we're going out drinking. But this year I'm bringing my 6-year-old, my son Remy. So don't tell my wife this, but we're bringing up fireworks. And we're going to blow off some fireworks at midnight or for New Year's. And this kid's never stayed up past like 9 o'clock. So I'm going to drive up there, set up, get all cozy. And luckily my buddy Seth likes to talk because my son likes to talk. So they're going to chat with each other. And hopefully we'll do some live streaming, some fishing. And we can fish for lake trout in the dark now, which they changed last year, but they didn't tell anybody until like 6-7 days later. So I caught 2 legally, and I thought they were illegal, lake trout. And I need to make some more cusk lines or burbot lines for my son, because now I'm allowed 6 lines for him and then another 2 lines for lake trout. So maybe you guys will see a how to make a burbot tip up. Not tip up, a fixed line. And I actually filmed one of those videos years ago, and I never released it. I actually deleted it. Yeah, when is January 1st this year? I don't even know. I think it's in the middle of a week or something like that. It is on a Thursday, so I'm taking off Wednesday, Thursday, and I put in my calendar for my wife I'm taking off Friday as well, because it's 3.5 hour drive up there. And I don't think my kiddo wants to rip up there and rip back on the same, like, up and back so long. With no sleep, by the way. It's a long single trip. So hopefully the good lake freezes the best. And then we can bounce around to the other lakes if we have to. I gotta go get a pin smelt here. Hold on. This is one of my customers that I talk to all the time. We get Adam in Grafton, New Hampshire. Thank you guys so much for chatting with me here. I'm sure I would have got this done sooner if I wasn't chatting, but I like chatting with you guys. And my plan is I'm not going ice fishing this week unless some magical frickin' stars align, unfortunately. And I'm sure people will be posting photos. That's gonna stink. Oh, crap. There's all those. Dang it. I have to go in the house and grab something real quick. 25. I'm stuck as a weekend warrior usually, so early ice. Be welcome. Yeah, it's tough finding first ice, especially if you're a weekend warrior, because it's usually like raining on the weekend and then great ice fishing weather during the week. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. I'm gone for like less than a minute. And I'm back. Yeah, we'll see how the ice fishing season pans out. Now, I don't know about you guys, but what happens to me is I'm on ice usually this Saturday and this Sunday, like the first weekend after Thanksgiving, which if I wasn't home tomorrow, I'd be hiking up a mountain to go ice fishing. But I'm home tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna go visit my parents. And then actually I'll go check some ice up by them. So where I grew up is higher elevation. Not super high, but high elevation. Excuse me, so they might have some ice actually. This guy ordered pretty much one of everything, which I appreciate. But at least twice in the last 5 years, I've had one cold night away from going out in December, only to see. Yep, that sounds like this time of year. Unfortunately, it just freaking. And I don't remember like it flip-flopping this much when I was younger. But I'm sure it did. I just don't remember it. And my battery's about to die, so hold on, I gotta find a place to plug in here. I'll lean you up on the window somehow. There we go. If you fall down, I apologize. I gave up on waiting for the valley ice and drove up to NK. Yeah, I mean, you gotta So I'm driving. Let me show you how many miles I drove. So directions from home to back to home. Let me show you how many miles I drove on first ice day. So I drove 250 miles to find first ice. So I live at least 2 hours away from where I usually find first ice. To give you guys perspective. And I drive a 1500 Chevy Silverado. So that first trip ain't cheap, gas wise. She ain't cheap. You know what? This guy's usually chill. I'm gonna give him. Couple of these, couple of those. Been too busy working overtime the past few weeks to book it. Well, you gotta go check, man. I guess that gives you a say. I don't know who else is moderating, but thank you. Yeah, so I usually have a lot of time invested in first ice because that first ice video gets that momentum going for the ice fishing season. So once I get a bunch of new people onto my YouTube page, I try to keep them there with constant content. If I could put out 5 videos a week, I would. It's just I can't. Because the kids and family and the bake business obviously takes time. Like, you know, we're at almost 2 hours here of just packing orders. There's lots of time making the product to go into the orders that you guys don't see. Which I will film at some point. I'll probably do like a Winnie kit build this winter or something like that if I get a chance. Right, hopefully this all fits in a small mailer. Yeah, make sure you guys spud your ice on the way out, obviously. Double the amount of those. Double the amount of tungstens. And then we have a pack of those. And a pack of pink melts. And I'm hoping to spend some time up in the NEK this year. Especially if our ice is crap, which, who knows? I'll let you know in the spring. If we had a good ice or not. Oh, so the moral of the story is what happens to me is I'm on ice either right now, like tomorrow, or I'm on ice a week ahead of time, which is the earliest I've been on it. And I'm already sick of ice fishing by February, especially if it's a crappy ice weather year, where I have to drive a bunch to look for ice, and like the option of getting skunked is just not there. Like I can't go out and get skunked and not get a video because I don't. It's not like I'm not up in Canada where like the fish just eat lead jigs like with nothing on it. These fish are kind of hard to catch, especially the lake trout. Are hard to catch. I know I make it look easy on the video. And what's funny is I when I'm guiding, people come out in my boat because usually they see my videos, so they're referred to me by other guides, because they don't want to target lake trout.
Sometimes I wonder why I chose this stupid species. But my disclaimer is like that 20-minute video might have taken me 8 hours of fishing and then another 8 hours or 4 hours of editing time to catch 4 fish in the video. Not always on, the bite's not always on fire. So just a disclaimer, don't expect to hammer a bunch of them right away. So yeah, it's a ton of work. Ice fishing's a lot more work. Filming's a little easier because you don't have waves, you don't have as much wind, you're in a shack sometimes, but you can just have a static tripod. But the cold messes with the camera gear super bad. Wind just blew my door open, scared the hell out of me. What places are you looking for in the Adirondack? No, I'm not looking in the Adirondacks. I'm looking for Northeast Kingdom, which is in Vermont. Hopefully, does that answer your question, Nate King? We got a Winnie kit. I was just talking to someone about Lake Placid recently. My in-laws were just talking about, I went up there for something. The Winnie kit, very popular. 5 lead-free quarter-ounce jigs and 40 plastics. Like, it's a banging deal. I fished a place in the NEK this year, and it was just loaded with freaking 20-inch Lakers. I'm pretty sure I could sight fish for them with the amount that was there. I got a sight fishing video last year of Lakers. I didn't actually land them. But I hooked 2. So I use Circle Tackle's KY 1000 size ice fishing reels. They hold up great. The drags aren't the greatest in the world. You can buy them right off of Circle Tackle's website. So that's what I run. And then I also run my Shimano Vanfords, my 2500 and my 3000 when I go to Sebago, because the 1000 size reels don't hold enough line to reach 160 feet where I fish, 160, 180 feet. And then I just got some new reels from Shimano that are I think they're 80 size reels, or 800 if you want to call them that. That I'm probably going to run. I don't know if I want to run them this year or not. The Miraval series. One ounce, then we got half ounce, 3/4 ounce. Excuse me. I think this summer including 2 lemons or something. Awesome. Yeah, catching 10-pound Lakers are fun. Can't catch them every day, but finally caught a New Hampshire one this summer that was a beast. And of course, my cameras weren't, my main GoPros and stuff weren't recording because I was messing around. But I got it on hook the fish with my lightest tackle and my lightest rod. It ended up being a 30-incher, which is hard to come by in New Hampshire. Seems like Lake George is the ticket for more consistent, bigger fish. I paid for the 1-year boat pass, obviously, this year. I'm like, I'm gonna go back, and I got my New York license. I'm gonna go back, and I never made it back. Well, I can get 2 years out of my license, my fishing license, because I can go earlier next year, and then I just gotta buy another stupid 1-day pass to launch the boat. Awesome. Yeah, if you're what's interesting is, so I've actually polled my YouTube audience. Most Laker places close at the end of September around the country. So my views just dropped right off, which kind of is a bummer. So I need to figure out how to keep that audience going. And if you folks on the chat right now, all 13 of you, probably more than that, the number doesn't always 15 of you. Welcome to the Bandit Fishing live stream where we're packing orders. This one's going to Mike Blatt, who is in Hanover, New Hampshire. He is a guide, runs TBC Guide Service over on the western side of New Hampshire. I've gone out with him a couple times, actually. He's buying the spoons, and I know where he's using them. Do you guys have any video ideas for me for ice fishing for Lakers? So I have a tip-up video coming out soon. I'm going to probably release that maybe on Christmas Day or something like that. I haven't decided. No, probably before that. Depends when that Sunday arrives. But I need some video ideas. Always need video ideas. Yeah, we have none that are open. Do the winning tournament, you mean? I tried to last year. Trust me, I tried to, and my buddy flaked at the last minute, and I'm like, I'm not doing 3 days on the ice by myself. Hell no. Absolutely not. And I wouldn't do it on Winnie either. I would do it somewhere else. I don't even know if I would go for lake trout. I think I would try to go for crappie. Would be my goal. This order's going to Ontario, Canada. They're using DHL to ship. Champlain tournament would be cool. So they actually do. I've done one ice fishing. Done the Winnie Derby once, and I've done one other. Done a panfish derby on Champlain forever ago. Probably when I first started my channel. And I caught one monster crappie. I'm like, I'm gonna win. And everybody caught like 5 monster crappie, so I did not win, needless to say. But I have what I want to do. I haven't talked to Joe Holland in a while. I wanted to do a tournament with him and Maine Trout Whisperer over in Maine. Like, just pick a lake and then have them do a 2-man team, me and another person. Like, have 6 people on the ice. Release. I'll do all the editing. Release it on my channel, kind of thing. It's an idea. I never talked to Joe about it though. I feel like Joe would be too busy. He's got a million things going on. But you never know. Yeah, ice fishing derbies are tough. I mean, you gotta be like dialed in on what you're doing, and then get lucky. Like, both of those have to line up. Both of those gotta line up. Yeah, something like the outpost would be kind of what I was kind of basing off of. I got to do something different, so I'm not like directly copying what those guys are doing. Obviously, I'd have to figure it out, I'd figure it out. 850, freaking A, man. I think that's the right size. Hold on. That's funny. Yeah, I've heard of people smelting and they just catch something freaking giant, Usually, when you're smelting, you're using like 2-pound tests and like super light rods, and then something big comes along and just breaks you off anyways. This person ordered 2 big bait kits. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to also plan a like a fun beach trip for the family this winter time, because last year we didn't do nothing because I don't think I've ever showed her. I have a 1-year-old. I don't think she's ever been in any of my videos. She will be eventually. But that was in November of last year. Actually, her birthday was last Monday. So we didn't do anything because she was too young to travel. So this year we're trying to go somewhere warm, Florida or something. For 4 or 5 days, get a reset away from ice fishing. Isn't that fancy? And I'm sure I'm getting text messages from people, but when I'm going live, I can't see anything else but the live. Just kind of annoying. Except for that one time I went live on my laptop, which is more of a pain in the ass than it was worth. And I want to go watch episode 2 of The Outpost, and I haven't had the chance to see it. And I wanted to go to the St. Paul Ice Show this year. I wanted to go last year, and my daughter was born. Couldn't go this year because I didn't plan ahead of time. And it would be only reason to go would be to get some more contacts. I already have contacts at a lot of big companies already. So my oldest is 6. So probably the New Year's video I could do that. I'll add that to my list. Good idea. I'm gonna write it on my table right now because I got no paper to write on. So, teach kids ice fish. Actually, I did a video with him last year on just a bass in a warm water pond, so bass and crappie, and it was a super fun video. We were catching actually pretty big bass, and he was super excited about it. The biggest thing is keep them entertained and keep them warm. Keep them out of the frickin' ice fishing holes. So like I took him year before last. I drilled a bunch of holes, and within the first 10 minutes, he steps right in one. I'm like, come on, man. So he was, wet and cold. Luckily, we're only 10 minutes from our house. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some more cusk weights. And I'm going to make him some cuss lines. Because where we go on New Year's, there's a lot of cusk. So we'll do that. Oh yeah, plenty of snacks. Snacks are key. Snacks are key. And he's not an iPad kid by any means, but he does like watching cartoons and stuff, obviously. Because he's a kid. We just went on a 5-hour one-way trip to my in-laws' house, and we let him watch the iPad the whole way. Otherwise, he just wakes up the other baby and drives everybody nuts. So iPad, lots of snacks. I'll bring a grill up this time. Normally we just eat at the gas station on the way up, guy stuff. Eat at the gas station, and then we bring. I don't know. I don't even know what we brought last year. Sausages or something like that. And don't cook in your shack. Freaking smell that shack. Never goes away. Learned that the hard way. All right, that one's going to Canada, and DHL does not pick up on Saturday, I don't think. Have you seen up to? I gotta buy some more boxes off of Amazon. Of course, Amazon raised the flipping price. Why do they do that? You know, one man Papa never used it. Haha, that's too funny. That's an expensive. Actually, they're not that expensive. But I'm sure if my son got access to my one man pop up, or it's like the Quick Fish 3, so it's like it's 3 people, I'd never see it again. Never see it again for sure. I bought a big 15 rod ice rod locker, like a big big Plano box, basically. I think it's Plano. Yeah, big Plano box. And it came in a big cardboard box from Amazon. My son's been playing in that cardboard box for, I don't know, a week. Loves the freaking thing. Kids love cardboard boxes. Yeah, that makes sense. They are pretty fun. More orders I pack now, the better. Drop them off at the post office tomorrow. Because the weekend post person is not the best at picking stuff up, I found. What else you guys got for video ideas for ice fishing? So I got the tip up one. I did one for jaw jackers last year. I did one for the finicky fooler last year. I'm gonna do a sponsored video for an underwater camera this year. I'll do a jigging for spoon video for sure. I don't know if I want to do that. I'll probably do that on Newfound Lake. Probably was to guess. Well, can't complete this order, so I gotta skip. Sorry, Ben from Nashville, I gotta skip you, man. I knew this one though. I wonder if I'm out of this product actually. My system's supposed to alert me when I'm out. I have targeted whitefish on Champlain now twice. How do I get on some Lakers on Newfound? You go to banditfish.com and you book me as a guide service. I will get you on a crazy amount of freaking Lakers on Newfound because it's overrun with Lakers. I caught, so at the end of the season last year, which you haven't seen all the footage from that, I caught 25 Lakers in 4 hours on Newfound. That's how good Newfound is. Yeah, if you go back, go to my YouTube page when you get off this video, which I'm going to end here shortly. I'm running out of product actually. Go to my YouTube page and I'll go back like 3 or 4 videos. There's a whitefish video, so I caught 2 by accident, Laker fishing. I kind of found a stack of them, and then I went up again just to go for whitefish, and I caught 3 before the weather changed and it shut right off. But yeah, they're a super fun fish to catch. Kind of my new annoying nemesis fish because they're fairly rare on Champlain. Same issue there, basically fish to extinction, like Lakers on Champlain. They have the same lamprey issue. They have there's another fish that affects them as well. Zebra mussels are a big issue. So like this order, I probably lost money on just because my margins aren't big enough on this particular product, but somebody bought them anyways. I watched that video. All right, hold on. You guys are going too fast here. You should do a review on the Beaver Dam glass noodle rolls. They're $15. And for $100, you save on a big anyway. Beaver Dam. I have a glass noodle rod. So I'm sponsored by Circle Tackle. That's why you see me run all the Circle Tackle stuff. Or on Pro Stack. I guess I'm sponsored. So I have like 30 Circle Tackle rods. You ever eat Lakers you catch? I do occasionally. I've smoked them. I've done all sorts of. I've smoked them, grilled them, and I'm not a big fan. So what happens is if I kill one by accident, like I get one in the gills or something like that, usually with spoons, I'll take them home and I'll give them to the dog. The dog loves it. He loves it, loves it, loves it. And he's a good boy. He deserves. He's actually at my parents' house right now. Maybe not what you want to hear, but I enjoy the videos of people trying things. I'm packing your order right now, man. You be nice. So I'm packing Kevin's order from Burlington. So that's why I did the whitefish video, because I like to try new things. I've done a catch and cook for cusp video before. It actually was really good when I made it that time. I made it kind of like a lobster roll. It's really good. The problem is people come to my channel for lake trout content. And so I actually need to stay in that niche in order to feed my family and run my business, because I catch lake trout, which people see me catching on my lures, which I'm packing up right now for you. These are your 1 ounce jigs. They see me do that, and then they buy my stuff, and that feeds my need to go out and do more videos. So I can stay in the lake trout niche. But once I venture out, I don't make any money. So I go do a video about crappie, make no money. I go do a video about whitefish, lose money. So I'm running it as a business, not as a first 3 years or 2 years. I ran it for like, oh, I don't just do whatever I want and see what sticks. Nothing was sticking. And then I met with a YouTube consultant that says you should stick with one thing. That thing should make you money. So I was already making baits for lake trout. And I'm like, all right, I'll do lake trout baits and tell people how to catch them. So that's what I'm doing. Now, Kevin, I am hoping at some point, I can get big enough that I can have someone completely do my bait business for me, which is I have someone, I only do a small part of it now. Smaller volume items I do. And then I can start venturing off and doing other stuff on the YouTube channel. But right now, every time I venture, I basically lose money, which is annoying. And if you run a small business like I do, every penny counts. Oh, what I thought. So the stuff I sprayed in the bag is called worm oil. It's basically like mineral oil and a couple other things in there. It's to help lubricate the baits so when you pull them out, they don't get all stuck to the bag. Especially with tubes, the tentacles kind of get stuck in the bag. So there's your glow tubes. And there's your jigs, which I've never used that size on Champlain. Maybe I used them once on Champlain. But they will catch fish for sure. And somehow I got a frickin' pine needle in there, so I gotta open the frickin' bag anyways. Yeah, I used to. My doing YouTube was way more fun when I wasn't making any money on it. That makes any sense. I was doing whatever I wanted to. I was doing crappie. I was doing wild brook trout. I was doing Lakers. I was doing burbot. I was doing anything I wanted to. Spear and sucker fish. And it wasn't making me any money. What happens is people come to a YouTube channel to watch a specific type of content, and that's how YouTube likes it. So it's just quality control. Yep, gonna get that surprise crappie. Can you use the 2 ounce tube jigs on Winnie effectively catch Lakers? I would not put anything over 3 inches on Lake Winnipesaukee. Not even worth it. The bait's not big enough. The food is not big enough, and the Lakers aren't big enough. You'll catch. I've caught one Laker on Winnipesaukee that was a 25-incher. I caught that on a 5-inch. It was a 1 ounce bucktail with a 4-inch, 4.5-inch maybe swim bait on the back of it. I was just using it to pound bottom and make noise. The one time, and it like literally inhaled it on the way down, so it basically caught itself. Other than that, your arm will fall off before you hook something. You might catch a burbot. Burbot will eat something that big. Yeah, no, it's I wish I didn't have to stay in the same niche the whole time because it gets boring running after the same. I do like Lakers, but it gets boring running after the same fish all the time. For sure. Mini split tear glow white. So I don't know if I can do. I can't complete that order either. Oh, you slow piece of crap. This laptop's older than I am. Why do you always horse the Lakers so much? So the Laker rods that I use are fairly fast, so they recover fast. I wish I do have some slower rods. The reason I horse Lakers is because they're notorious for coming off. So if you give them any slack, they will log roll or they will roll like a crocodile and unhook themselves. They're really freaking good at it. So what I do, especially the smaller ones, I just winch them. I use 15-pound braid, 12-pound leader. 12 is the smallest I'll go unless they're being complete butt heads, and then I'll downsize, but it's rare. I don't usually carry anything less than 12. 12-pound, 15-pound on Sebago, and I use 20-pound on Champlain. I use that's in the summertime, 15 probably during the wintertime. So yeah, I horse them because they're just so good at getting off. You're better off getting them to the surface as fast as you can, and then so you don't lose them. That's really all it comes down to. The longer they stay on, the more likely they're going to fall off. Tons of people watch perch fishing videos. Yeah, I have some. I have some yellow perch doing. Yeah, here, watch this. I can look at my videos here. So it's not what I'm known for. That's the thing. So what happens with YouTube, what happens with an audience, right? So imagine this is how the YouTube consultant explained it to me, which makes a lot of sense. Actually, someone else explained it to me too. You guys all know the show Grey's Anatomy. You probably don't watch it, but it's been on for like 20 years, right? When you press play on that sitcom or whatever that you've been watching forever, 6-7 years, the audience is the same, the layout of the video is the same, the editing style is the same, and you come back for that to be consistent because people like to watch consistent things. They don't like to watch stuff that's absolutely all over the place. Kids do. My son does. So what YouTube likes is they want people to stay on YouTube for as long as possible. So if I make content that's a series or a bunch of lake trout how-to content, you guys, which I love, come to my channel and you binge watch all of my lake trout content. You guys are going to skip right over my perch content. So yeah, I can make another channel that's perch specific or panfish specific, which I could do for the random time that I have time, which I don't. And do that. But like I'm looking at a video right now. I was catching jumbo perch ice fishing last 2 years ago, 1,100 views. 3 years ago, 1,400 views, and then my lake trout stuff gets 4,000 views right next to it, like filmed right after it. I was catching 12-inch to 14-inch perch, 500 views. Yeah, 14-inch perch drop shotting on the Connecticut River, 381 views. So they just don't make me any money, and they don't get views, so they kind of goes hand in hand, obviously. 3 of those flutter jigs, fly tubes. All right, this guy ordered freaking everything. Thank you, Dylan from New York. If you're on here, I appreciate it. That's a big order. Targeting just one species all the time. But I say lakes definitely consume a good chunk of the time. I use me 36 graphite rod at 4,000. Yeah, graphite rod, 36 inches fine, medium's fine. 4,000 size is way bigger than you need. I would go down to 1,000 if you have one, or 20. I run a 2,500 on my, when I'm fishing full time, I run a 2,500 just because it's lightweight. But yeah, that 4,000 is going to be pretty heavy. Even if it's a higher end rod, it's still going to reel. I mean, it's going to be heavy. All right, I have a bunch of orders that I can't complete here. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for chilling with me here, packing orders. And so I have, when I'm making orders, this stuff is PVC. It's polyvinyl chloride. Not the best for you. I wear a giant ventilator and I run fans and I have the doors open. It's loud as hell. So which is the reason I don't film it, or I don't go live when I'm shooting baits. But one of these days I'll do a little quick order and I'll show you guys how I make the Winnie kit. Maybe next time I do it. Maybe this winter when I run another batch. So I need to run more of these. And then more of those. Excuse me. I could do this one, I think.
Maybe. Well, I could pack one more order. Actually. Let's do that. Let's pack one more order and we'll call it a night. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I made these in a rush the other day. So not 8, 9. It's not. Some of them came out crappy. No pun intended. Because they are for crappy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the new bait. These little tiny guys here, 1.2 inches. Yeah, thanks, and same to you. I hate the saying tight lines, but tight lines instead of saying the word good luck. The same concept.
And your order is on the way, man.
Yeah. Get the Winnie kits while they're on sale, man. I never run a sale. Right here. This one's going out to Nate in New Hampshire. And the jigs, the small jigs, the mini stuff is limited time only. Just because I got enough part numbers and jigs to keep my own brain busy here. And I do have merch. If you guys want to buy winter beanies, I'm not wearing it now, but I have a black hat with Bendit logo on the front.
I have a bunch of them that I bought last year. Nobody bought any of them. Which is stupid. All right, we're supposed to be. Guess I can throw this away. Supposed to be a bunch of stickers in there. And I have Burp Shark stickers, which I don't think I've ever promoted individually, but sell a handful of them every year. And I don't even have one on my truck yet. Maybe in the spring I'll put one on. All right, see you guys. Hopefully, I'd like to go live once a week. It's just tough to remember that. And then I got to put my kids to sleep some nights. My wife and I trade every other night, so. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for buying. See you guys. Use Bend It.